Annsatsu Kyoushitsu is a shonen anime whose first season was released in 2015, directed by Seiji Kishi. The story takes place in a time of crisis. Earth is under attack by a tentacle-laden octopus-like creature, who, like all good JRPG villains, shows up, breaks something, and kicks ass. Also, just like any powerful enemy on the verge of total conquest, the monster decides he must create his supreme rival by teaching students how to be the ultimate assassins. Thus, the alias Kuro-sensei is born, as the deadly, sadistic, quirky, yet protective lead teacher of the low-scoring students of E-Class. With the Japanese army playing along in the background, and with a huge cash bounty as a prize to the person who defeats him, the students, of course, jump right on board. With a type of lesson of the week format, the show tries to introduce most of the class, the teachers, and even brings in outsiders. This brings me to my first point, the lack of characterization. With a scope of 22 episodes, the anime should have worked its way through the exposition of each character. Sadly, it feels more like skipping stones, as many of the characters are discarded just as quickly as they come. A good example of this is Yukiko. After a few episodes of not being mentioned, we are suddenly thrusted into her life struggles. But just as soon as she's introduced, she disappears into the background. A similar problem is with the characters who have a lot of screen time, but you barely know their name without a cheat sheet at hand. From the students, I think no one emphasizes this better than the green-haired girl. For a while, we thought she was Nagisa's sister. She has a lot of screen time and is key to a lot of the action throughout the anime, yet receives no backstory of her own. Even Kuro-sensei falls into this trap. His true motivation for teaching position is implied early on, but it's barely touched on again. His comic relief act is good though, and he made me smile almost as much as Bitch Sensei. But after 15 minutes of watching, he never feels like an antagonist. I suppose this makes room for the school life bits, of struggling with growth, acceptance, achievement, and friendship which surround the students in his class. On the flip side, both Nagisa and Karma are well characterized. I particularly like how Nagisa moves through the motions of his unusual school life. Yet, he never stops observing for any weakness in Kuro-sensei. The politics of their school also added another layer of depth. Their school is built around the theory that if you cast 5% into the trash, you can, through fear, raise the other 95% to perfection. The 5% is isolated away as a punishment, but, unbeknownst to the rest of the school world, this acts as the perfect location to carry out this bizarre assassin's curriculum. The action comedy sequences have good pacing. No encounter outstays its welcome. There is a good mix of youth struggles, raw power, femme fatale, and mental reflexes. The craziness unfolds and it keeps you guessing. All in all, this is somewhere between average and good. I would have loved more investment in the characters, but maybe the second season will do just that. I'll let you know what I think. This was Daniel Hiroshi. Thanks for listening.